What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about B3 base token today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right, I want to see, is there one with more? There is. This has more history to it. Let me just see. What's this low here? It's at 2039, and if we type in B3 for Coinbase, that same low is at, okay, I'm going to use this chart. I'm going to use this one here, okay? Because it might tell more truths to us. While it is nice on the day, we're up 6.7%. It's looking like we have a nice bottoming candle phase here. It's very possible that we do. As of now, it's important to not get too excited, not to get too overzealous, right? We very much are in a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows. This could just be another one, and likely it is. Likely it is. We were looking for the low here, but I think you might go a little bit lower, right? My last title, let's see, what did I name it again? I think it was, yeah, B3 base token. The low is in again. It's the low is in again. We might have another one of those. It might be again by the end of this, but I don't care. You know, third time might be the charm on guessing when these lows come in. The reason why I am thinking that we go lower is if we look at this here, and maybe at this point it actually would be better to use Coinbase. There's not a lot of volume coming in. There's not a lot of volume coming in as you're moving up. It's about the same volume. And don't get me wrong, it's nice volume. It is good volume. There is some interest in base, guys. At $34 million on a $109 million market cap, that's a good thing. That ain't bad. That ain't bad, that's for sure. Especially if you're not just moving down at a crazy pace. You're just moving down very methodically. I think there are good things coming our way for base token here. And I definitely plan on buying some. I did not buy some. I held the phone. I was waiting to see what you would do with this move up. I told myself, and oftentimes this is kind of how I am, because I know whenever we last talked about it, it was over here and I was calling for the low, right? B3 base token, the low is in again. What I like to do is, if I'm uncertain about things, is I will wait. I would rather not buy here. I would rather not buy even the absolute low. I would even rather not buy here, right? Even if it's moving up and I'm feeling the FOMO. I want to buy once it breaks through its trend line, and then once it's confirmed that it's higher, once I believe it's not going to go lower, then I'll lay the hammer down, right? But we haven't done that yet. I am the type of person that I think it's smarter, quote unquote smarter, to not buy the low, to buy around the low, but more so buy when you have confirmation that you're not going lower. The reason why is, especially with a new coin that you're uncertain if it's going to last, if it's going to do anything that you expect it to, because it doesn't have a whole lot of historical references at all. It's a brand new coin. It's important to be in a position of strength. You don't want to be in a position where it's going down, because how many people bought this coin on the way down, bought it at the highs, and now you're like, what did I even buy? Is this coin, like, what is it? Is there even a narrative with this coin? Like, you're wondering if you even made the right decision, if this is a scam coin. I don't think it is. I think it is going to do very well. I think it's got the right people backing it and supporting it, and I do think that there's a purpose behind this thing, but all those questions, all those worries, all those concerns, they go away more so when you buy in a position of strength. That's why I think it's smarter not to buy, not to try and catch the low as much as we're going to try to. It's probably smarter to actually buy once you break through your trend, which, to be fair, you're breaking through it now. But I'm still not convinced. I don't think this is the kind of reaction we'd look for. Even more so than that, we look at the 4-hour RSI. Here we are at the RSI, potentially finding some resistance. Not yet at the same area that we've been finding resistance every single time we've been up at these areas in the RSI. This has been where we start to come down, right? That was our little breath of relief there. Breath of relief barely there. You know, back over here even, you didn't even make it that high and you still went lower. Here, a nice little move up. That was 10% in a 4-hour period, but that was the most exciting you've seen your whole life, and then boom, lower. I think that you are probably going to go a little bit lower, and that's why we're using this chart here, okay? If we look at this on a low basis, and this might be my bad, because B3 USD, we've been using the Coinbase chart for a long time, because I think it has been respecting these fibs more. So if we look at this low here, you know, we went just below that low, right? And that to me seems like a very prime buying opportunity. This low here, you're basically right there. It seems like a very prime buying opportunity. But again, I forgot that this thing does have, quote unquote, a little bit more history than even what the Coinbase chart was showing. This low, oh, that's not what I meant to do. This low here could be the lowest area that you go to. And being at 2051, going down to 2039, that could definitely promote, you know, some kind of drop from here. Why did it do that? Come here. Come on now. You know, that'd be about a 24% drop. I'm not saying that you drop 24% And you don't even have to go below this low. I'm not completely convinced that you do. I'm just saying every time we've been in this 4-hour area on the RSI, it has been a cause to go lower. Every single time we have seen a lower low in respects to where the low was before. So going off of the trend, I guess you can't really argue that we would at least expect something lower than this low. Now, do you go all the way down here to 2039? I don't know, maybe. Low to high here, that is pretty deep in this extension phase. I guess not. I wouldn't assume that you do. Maybe you go to the 1618, which is still about a 19% drop from the current price. That's at 20415. I have a theory. We're gonna do this instead. You know what we're gonna do is we're gonna play psychological warfare and play games with each other. We're gonna see 0.00420 is what we're gonna do. Right? We're gonna hit that number there. The silly number of 420. I bet it's 0.0042069. That's where we're gonna find support. Let it be known, guys. The floor is in at 420.69. Okay, that's where the floor is. Maybe, I don't know. Crypto's funny that way, you guys, and they got a sense of humor. The market makers do, the market participants do, the speculators, and sometimes just fate itself has a very good sense of humor. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did go lower. Wouldn't surprise me at all if the low was somewhere around 0.00438 to 0.00415. That's what I'm expecting you to do, and I will be buying in that area. I have vested interest in this thing. I guess not. I have emotional interest in this thing, I suppose. I don't know what to say. It's not vested because I'm not invested yet, am I? I have an interest. I've taken an interest in this thing. I definitely have. The more I read about it, the more I look into just the fact that you're still finding a lot of volume here. This gets me excited. This really does get me excited. So that whenever it's time to rip, you might not move up at this pace, but I think that you will move up at a fast pace. I'm sorry if it's not 2 days time that you see a move that is overall. Let's see, from the low to the high. If it's not 2 days time that you move up 400%, I'm sorry. Maybe it takes 2 weeks time. Maybe it takes a week's time, whatever. But I do think that not only will you move up that much, you will move up higher than that, right? I think you're going to move up much more than that, and you will see dramatically higher all-time highs. I just don't know where that is. I don't know if it's appropriate to gauge where that is because, again, we don't have the lows yet. But when we do, it'll be more appropriate. From this low here, which I'm confident now that you probably do go below there. I wasn't as confident in the beginning of this video, but I'm pretty confident you do. Just because I'm confident doesn't mean it has to happen, and that's the thing. That's why, I'm waiting, and I'm open. I'm totally open. The thing is, whenever a lot of people are expecting lower prices, when the price goes higher than they expect, and it clearly breaks the downtrend, it's like, nope, we're still waiting. We're still just going to wait, being stubborn. And sometimes it's good to be stubborn, but oftentimes you'll miss the boat. You'll just miss the boat. I don't want to miss the boat. I would be much happier buying here than I would be buying here, even if this was the inevitable move, because we still have the risk of going down while we're at this price, but that risk goes away dramatically when we're back up at this price, okay? But again, I don't know where the low is. I assume that we will go lower, so with that in mind, this target area will only get higher. If you look at the 1272, as I pull this line down, it only gets higher, 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 right? So right there, 1272 is at 2.8688 cents. I would at least assume when it's time to move up that that's where we would go. And from here, that's about a 5.6x at a minimum. Again, I don't think it's appropriate to gauge how high this thing goes until we have the low. It's not appropriate yet, but I would at least expect something on the lines of probably around a 6x to happen whenever things are all said and done. And it's honestly, it's probably going to be more than that. With this, I think that you will see a move that is overall greater than a 10x, but time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I mean, and then obviously as the cycle continues, I believe this thing has multi-100x potential, let alone 10x potential. I'm just talking about this next move. Watch it do a 30x or a 40x by the end of this next move. Time will tell. We'll see how it goes. But I got nothing else for you guys. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Take it easy. Bye.